Okay, so it looks like one of my orders got delivered a little bit early, and that's the reason why I am back in front of the camera. Now, that being said, we will be doing an unboxing, first impressions, and a hands-on of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. That's the one that got delivered early. Of course, I'm still waiting on the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, which is supposed to get here either tomorrow or the day after, and I'm still waiting on the Galaxy Tab S8, the regular Tab S8, which will be getting here, I believe, sometime beginning of March. Anyway, but all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this unboxing. Now, full disclosure here, I've actually already unboxed the tablet, so I'm just going to share some footage with you so that we can see what comes in this box. As you can see, it is pretty thin, and you would imagine it does not contain the wall adapter. So I still want to go ahead and just kind of fly through that unboxing so you can see what comes in the box. So I do have the tablet right here. It is, of course, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus, or is it right here? Can you tell the difference? Now, I'm just playing around doing this, but now that I'm looking at it, I can't even tell which one is which. Not that much of a difference between these two. But anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the unboxing itself. As I've already mentioned, the box is fairly thin, and that tells us that it does not contain the wall adapter. So as soon as you open the box, the first thing you see sitting at the top is, of course, the tablet in that sleeve or that bag or that nylon bag that Samsung uses to keep the tablet in. So we put that on the side here and see what else comes in the box here. Now, the next thing we are going to take out here is going to be the S Pen, and this is the new S Pen, which, if you compare to the S Pen that comes with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, you won't see any difference, right? In terms of just physical attributes, it is essentially the same pencil, the same S Pen that you have on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, except this guy here, in terms of just latency, it is top notch. The gap has been widened a little bit more. If you remember, if you did watch my video from yesterday, you will remember that I talked about the fact that the latency is even better, right? 2.8 milliseconds, right? As opposed to, I believe, 9 on the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. But anyway, the next thing we are going to take out here is this little box in the middle, which contains the USB Type-C, or the charging cable, right? So the USB Type-C charging cable, and that is on both ends. So you are looking at a USB Type-C to USB Type-C. And finally, the last thing we are going to take out here is simply the manual along with the SIM tray tool. That is pretty much it. That's all we have in this box. That is one of the things that I feared when they started doing this with the Samsung Galaxy phones. But anyway, in terms of just first impressions, when you put it side by side with the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus, there is literally no difference. I also mentioned in my previous video, in the video from yesterday, that there are some very subtle differences. Obviously, when you start paying attention, you will notice some of the very subtle physical differences that set these two apart. Anywhere from the camera to the buttons, like placement, button placement, and all that good stuff is pretty much the same. Now, it is also said that the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 or the S8 Plus, so the newer generation, is a little bit more solid. Like the material that they use here, they used, I believe, armor aluminum as opposed to what was simply regular aluminum with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, and everything else has been kind of, recycled, right? So the display, which is a Super AMOLED display, that's the same thing you had on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. Image quality, amazing. You will love this thing if you like OLED displays. Blacks are very black, reds are very image quality is super sharp. Obviously, it comes loaded with that 120 Hz refresh rate, so it is very, very smooth as you navigate. And before I even continue with just that user experience, at least the first impressions of that user experience, let's go over some of the physical features here. Pretty much the same stuff, right? So power button, volume rocker, mics all over the tablet here. Quad speaker setup, which is of course expected, especially when you hit like pro tablets level. You just have to have quad speaker setup, and it is very loud, super crisp. The sound, of course, is tuned by AKG, as it has been the case with the previous pro tablets by Samsung, along with some of the mid-range tablets. USB Type-C port here, of course, as always, and you have the 3 pins for the keyboard. Now, I haven't received the keyboard that I ordered with this, but it is compatible, given that it's essentially the same tablet as the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. It is very much compatible with the keyboard, the book cover keyboard that comes with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. So definitely interchangeable. There is a newer generation keyboard for this, which is the one that I ordered. It's not at the same level as what was given last year, but we'll get to see, we'll get to test it out when it gets here. As I mentioned, things seem to be coming in pieces here. But anyway, the next thing that I need to bring up here is the selfie camera. That selfie camera is actually pretty good. Looking at a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, that is really, really good. I'm starting to like, I know I've been pushing for, a lot of you guys to consider the Galaxy Tab S7 or the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, but I'm starting to like what this guy here has to offer. On the back here, you have that same old 13 megapixel for the telephoto, and this time around, you do have a 6 megapixel ultra wide camera on the back here, along of course with the flash. On the previous one, you had 13 and 5 megapixel, and I believe the front one was 8 megapixel, or is 8 megapixel on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. That is pretty much it. Everything else, as I mentioned, remains the same. Very subtle changes that you can kind of notice, like these buttons that are a little bit, that are on the flatter side as opposed to what is found on the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. The camera, the way it looks, some tiny differences there also. And of course, the hardware on the inside is the chipset, right? So it is now loaded with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which is a beast. Now, so far, I haven't encountered any issues, and it's not like I was expecting to encounter any issues. I mean, the Galaxy Tab S7 and Tab S7 Plus are amazing tablets, so I wouldn't expect something that is supposed to be better to perform poorly, right? So far, I've done some level of multitasking, some level of gaming, and so far, so good. And as I highlighted earlier, image quality here is just so amazing. That Super AMOLED display, I mean, Samsung knows its way around, displays. You're looking at what? I believe the resolution here is 1752 by 2800. This is a 12.4 inches display here, so just very good for people who like larger displays. Obviously, if you want larger, just go ahead and get yourself the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. Now, other than that, we could just do a very quick recap. Now, this guy here is available in 3 different configs. This one is the base configuration at 128 gigs of internal storage with 8 gigs of RAM. You can go for the 256 gigs of internal storage with 8 gigs of RAM, or you can simply upgrade that RAM to 12 gigs of RAM, still with 256 gigs of internal storage. The battery is the same as what we have on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, of course, which is 10,090 milliamp. I've been using it for the past few hours. Hasn't moved a little bit, but it's still brand new, so I don't expect this guy to die. So this is definitely going to be a full day, type of tablet, even if you're a power user. Of course, this is built for productivity. It's been handling everything so far like a breeze. Anyway, so I will get to do some pretty thorough testing of this tablet here and come to you with a full, review of this tablet. I'm going to do comparison videos. My plan is actually also to get the Lenovo P12 Pro and be able to compare that with this just to see how it plays out against that. But we will see. So it looks like over the next couple months, I will be busy with all of these tablets, playing around and, just see how well they last over time. By the way, if this is your first time visiting, of course, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, of course, if you do like the content so far, which I would very much appreciate. But anyway, I will catch you in the comment sections. Are there anything that you would like for me to test out? Are you looking forward to picking up this tablet? If so, let me know in the comment section. I will catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And of course, as always, up until that next video, stay safe out there.